Hi everyone, been away for a little while. As you probably are aware, it is the school holidays. You see other bags. My kids, they got special needs. So my summer holidays are extra special. Anyway, I actually made a couple of samples out of a yarn that I picked up probably about a week and a half ago now, and try as I might, one of my kids has eaten one of the samples. I cannot find it unless it's in next door's garden getting looked after by the dog. It's gone. I actually did a Tunisian style crochet square, knitted square, and I wanted to show you because the Tunisian one was the best one. So I'm actually quite done in. Anywho, right, the yarn that I picked up was on sale in Hobbycraft, and it is Women's Institute homegrown. It's 100 gram skein of DK, and it's 100% wool, which I've never had a wool 100% like that before, so I just thought, you know, I'll see what it's like. It's got 225 meters and it requires about a 2mm hook or needle, 22 stitches to 28 rows roughly, depending on your gauge. Mine's always spot on, luckily, because otherwise I think I'd have bunged this out the window. Anyhow, this colour is called Coral. And it's the ugliest colour I think I've ever bought, but I've got enough wool that could go with it, so I'm happy about it. It's all right. So anyway, this was my swatch on the knitting machine. Obviously I wasn't going to knit it by hand, so on my actual flatbed knitting machine. The stitches are really lovely and the wool has held up really well. I did steam block this, believe it or not. I mean, it's still rolling, so I must be rubbish at steam blocking. I'm not going to lie, I don't do it usually. And this is normal crochet. It was really defined. It's such a defined fabric. This is my worst looking swatch, obviously, and it didn't suit this as well. It feels really scratchy and not as nice. But the knitted one, it's all right, don't scratch. But the Tunisian one, oh my god, it was beautiful. So I'm going to have to try and find that and look for it next time. Anyway, my thoughts on this. It would be great as a throw with a slight bit of fluff in there, because I don't know if you can hear that. It's crunchy, but it's not soft. It's softish for wool, which I'm quite surprised about. I thought it was going to be really awful. I'm going to wash these, the ones that I can find. I'm going to wash them and see if they keep their shape and stitch definition. And if they do, it's going to be a thumbs up, really. I think it's a good one. Finished 2 projects as well. Last time I was here, I showed you, I think I've done a work in progress Sunday thing. So I had a King Cole Caribbean Calypso yarn that I was using, and I actually hate it. It's a horrible yarn. I never want to use it again. But I finished it today. It's hot off the hook just now, and that is it. I tried it on. It made me look like a fat girl, so I shan't be wearing it. But yeah, we've done a slight cuff on the end. That's the bottom cuff, and there was enough give for it to go over my big butt. And then I did the front and back the same, and I put a V in the front and back. But when I first did it, I only did like one row round of half doubles, and then I broke the wool off and knitted it in. Thought, yeah, that'll do. And then I went to the sleeves and I'd done the cuffs and I'd done a little bit more, and then I went to the bottom and done a lot more, and I thought, do you know what, the neck just looked rubbish. I put it on and it was slipping off my shoulders and being really stupid and to be honest, I nearly threw it in the bin because I've worked really hard for the last 2 days getting it up to this point. But this evening I bit the bullet and done the neck again twice. So that's how it's going to look. I decided in the end that I would do a couple of 2-stitch decreases. I've done 3 of them, and then I've done a normal row where I didn't, and then done another one, a decrease, only in the corners, and it fits nice. I finished it off with a roll of single crochet, and yeah, do you know what? It look nice on anyone but me. I think you've got to have big boobs, a big bum, no waist, long legs. Well, I've only got one of those, so charity shop it is. Someone's going to like it, hopefully. So yeah, this is the one I made up. I made the pattern up myself, and yeah, I'm pleased with it. But I think next time I would try and make it more of a vest, and I certainly wouldn't be putting the ribbon on there because it just made me look like a huge heifer. Anyhow, that's that one. And then I've never used a 4-ply yarn before, but I've had this one sitting on my shelf for a long time. It's from Hobbycraft again. I think it's called Return of the Mac, if I remember rightly. Yeah, no, Leader of the Pack. It's the one with Alpaca in it. It's Leader of the Pack. And I went online to Bag O' Day Crystal, and she had just done a Bird of the Night shawl. And I thought, do you know what, that looked lovely in that wool. So even though this wool's been sitting on my shelf for like 3 years, I decided that it was time to stretch it out. So this is my Bird of the Night shawl. This is going to be for my little niece at Christmas. As you can see, it's got little owl faces in there, and I just bung tassels on the end because, you know, that's what you do. Yeah, I thought it looked all right. You can either wear it that way, which I'm sure she won't, or this is the way I've done it for. Let's put it round under your winter coat. And I'm sure my little 11-year-old niece would love that. So that's how it looks. That is the Leader of the Pack. It's a little bit stiff. It'll probably be good after a wash. Not really itchy, quite warm. So yeah, happy with that. So that's what I've been doing. I've been trying to catch up on all the projects that I showed you before. I was a bit embarrassed that I had so many on the go because I only ever do one. And I got myself a little yarn problem where I was running out of space, and I keep wanting to buy more, and I'm holding off, you know, because I've run out of space. It's quite simple. So I thought, well, I'll switch it around because I've got a storage under my bed. I've got 2 tubs that way. I would show you, but you know, the kids have trashed my house, so I'm not going to show you. I've got my work in progress just behind you, and I don't know if you can see, but there's a great big basket either side of my knitting machine. They're both full of yarn. Well, actually, that one's full of patterns. That one's full of yarn. And when I say full of patterns, it's stuffed to the brim full of patterns. And see all the yarn on top? That's all for the knitting machine. So I've got, that's 4 plies and 3 plies. And that's 2 ply and thread for the knitting machine. My poor little beast hasn't run in a while, so I'm going to have to give it a service and run it. It loved getting onto that orange yarn the other day, the coral. Really enjoyed having a quick blast. Because that machine, I found it online. I don't know if any of you do knitting machine, but I really love knitting machines. And I've bought quite a few now. I've hidden them under my bed upstairs, most of them anyway. I've got about 11. So I saw this one going on Facebook for a tenner, and I thought, great, that's wonderful. But being a little bit naive, I didn't realise it had no carriage with it. So it arrived, and it must have been loved in its lifetime before it come here, because it was stuffed full of fibre. Literally picked out a clump of fibre, sort of so big, from underneath the needles, and it took me a day. I took the whole thing apart and cleaned it from inside out. And sorry, my eyes are really itchy because that's alpaca, and it's just like there. So I've got so many allergies, my voice is going, my eyes are itching, I must look a mess. So anyway, I took all this yarn, bath, fluff, rubbish, crud I think it's called as well, crud out of the machine, and revamped all the needles, scrubbed it down, put it back together, and then realised I couldn't find a carriage for this poor machine that I'd just spent all day cleaning up. So I actually ordered a carriage from America in the end, and it was for like the sister company. I've got the studio, not the studio, the Silver Reed version, and I had to get a studio carriage to go on it from America. So this lady kindly sent it across the sea, and when it arrived, the handle was broke, and I was absolutely devastated because I've been desperate to get this machine up and running. I thought, well, you know, it's going to be a waste, but the one that's cost me the less has actually cost me the most, because not only did it not have a carriage, it had no yarn masts or anything. So I've literally replaced everything, all the tools, and that little beast now is running. So I'm quite proud of it. I think it's cost me in the region of about £200 to get a £10 machine running, which I won't do again, but you know, it was worth it. It kept it out of landfill, and it's a brilliant machine, so I can't complain. Anyway, I've still got my knitting to do. I'm going to go on to knitting for a minute because my hands are absolutely killing me. I don't know if any of you get it, but my fingers, oh, they hurt so much. My wrists. So I'm going to give them a rest from crochet. I've had enough of that for a minute. So I'm going to head on to hand knitting, finish off the purple and black scarfy jumper with the cables, and then hopefully I'll get to show you that too. See you later.